What's up, dudes and dudettes? Welcome to Dormality.
Hello.
Hello. So, it has been a bit. We're gonna blame it on Tyler going to a concert over the weekend, but it was mostly my laziness. So,
Yes, I went to a concert the day we posted the last one.
and then I didn't feel like editing because I went to a trip to my parents' house the weekend after. Or the weekend, 2 weekends after. Time's weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
so you want to tell them what the plan is for today?
So, today's plan is as follows. We are going to start with a friendly debate. We will explain the rules when we get to that section.
It's an incredibly serious debate.
It's very serious. It has to do with some tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Not of the highest quality.
Some might even say rotten. And we're going to juke it out over movies that have to do with that topic. And we'll get into that in a minute. But we're going to spend most of our time today talking about the glorious show known as
Squid Game.
Squid Game.
It's, if you don't know what it is, get out from under your rock.
It's been taking over the world slowly. I was reluctant to get into it, but I finished it in pretty quick timing.
I had my brother explain the entire plot to me so I didn't feel like watching, and then I watched 2 episodes, and I'm super into it now.
He's very into it now. And I just finished today, which, if you're listening to this beginning part and you haven't watched Squid Game, we implore you to go watch it and then come back, because we will be discussing spoilers when we get to that point.
There will be a large quantity of spoilers.
There will be a big sign on the screen that says, spoiler.
Also, it's so much easier for me to do since I have Wi-Fi in here now.
Right? Oh, yeah. Side note, we've been editing this podcast both in the room and then taking the footage to another location to upload it.
Yeah, so we've had a flash drive, like a 60 gig flash drive we've been just tossing the video back and forth on. It's now just gonna be all on my desktop, which is gonna make my life 1,000 times easier.
So just again, since, he can edit very easily, this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna say spoiler right here.
Yeah.
But it's gonna say that when we start.
So
he's gonna have to do it 3 times.
I am.
When I said it the first time, this last time, and when we actually need it.
And right now. I'm gonna make my life harder by doing that.
That's 4 times.
It's 4 times. It's crazy.
For the
I'm
audio,
gonna forget to do it one of them. I know that.
For the listeners, just imagine it.
Just think about it. Really
think
hard.
about what it would look like.
Think about a stop sign, but instead of it saying
spoiler.
stop, it's a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
And it also says if you don't stop, you're stupid. Like if you don't stop at a stop sign.
Wow.
It's hashtag deep.
All right.
All right. Let's do this.
We're gonna get into the first part. The movie debate.
Movie debate.
So the rules that we kind of talked about this on the last episode at the end. The rules are as follows. We had to each find a movie that had less than 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
This was not hard for me.
Watch it. And then we had to basically explain why this movie deserves better than a 50%. It does not objectively have to be a great film. We just believe that it deserves better than 50. We had a little bit of fun with this one. So I'm going to let Alex go first because I think his is more outrageous than mine.
Oh no, then we want you to go first, and then I can hit with the outrageous one at the end.
No, because I need to get my thoughts together. You said you already know.
I can't. Server can't be found. It won't let me load my wonderful page of this fabulous movie. So, before I begin, and our camera focuses back in on us, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever been to
Fresno? No.
the wonderful land called Textopolis? That's right, everybody. I will be proudly and easily defending the wonderful movie, the Emoji Movie.
No.
Now, this cinematic masterpiece, this hour and 26 minutes of pure PG-rated bliss, was released in 2017 as a family comedy. And I've seen it 4 times since then. And I have no regrets. One time for Halloween, I went as High Five from the Emoji Movie. And I don't regret it. I still have the costume in my house, and it's wonderful.
No.
So, how do we want to do this? Are we going to have, basic things we can go off of, or...
Kind of just explain why you think it deserves higher than... are you going all the way that you think it's a great movie, or are you going that you think it just deserves better than a 50? What is its current score?
I'm going to go with better than a 50.
What's
Currently,
its-
it's a 7. A 7%.
I agree with that.
Which is an abomination and a tragedy.
All right, explain why it's an
'Cause
abomination to
you
you.
can't... So, wait, what did you say? I was talking about how perfect this movie is.
Explain why it's an abomination to you.
It's not an abomination to me.
That it's a 7%. It's an abomination
Oh.
that it's a 7% for you.
So I enjoy the concept of saying that if a movie succeeds at he spilled.
I did not keep going.
Tyler sucks at drinking Diet Coke, but you know what doesn't suck? The Emoji Movie. Anyway,
That was
I
terrible.
am a proponent of thought that if any piece of media, whether that be video game, movie, TV, succeeds at what it intends to do, then it, at its core, is good. The Emoji Movie was made to entertain kids. And my God, and my gosh, might I change, did they succeed? Let's give you a plot synopsis of the wonderful Emoji Movie. This movie starts in our wonderful town of Textopolis, where we meet Gene, the meh emoji.
Meh.
His parents were meh emojis, his grandparents were meh emojis, and they were happy until Gene said, I don't want to be a meh emoji. Something we all can relate to, you know, people get put into their mold, they're what they're told to do. This is what you're told to do, and Gene says, no, I don't want to do that. So, he sets out on a journey to change himself.
Oh no.
And on the way, he meets a wonderful cast of characters. High Five, played from the wonderful, the incredible, starring in Cats the movie, James Corden, who plays a high five emoji. God bless. And, ow. I just hit my finger. Jailbreak.
That's what you deserve for watching the Emoji Movie.
No, I don't. I heard it on my, my ring finger, which in the movie, the Emoji Movie, our wonderful man James Corden has a band-aid on his finger, which is what I might need after that.
You really tied it in.
I really tied it in. Dude, I told you I could defend this. We need Jailbreak.
All right, time out.
Mm-hmm.
He told me he was going to pick the Emoji Movie 5 minutes after we ended recording the last episode.
Yeah.
And that was 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And so this 3 weeks has gone by, and I have in my mind, you know, I picked my movie, I watched my movie, which also, admittedly, is a stupid choice, but did not think he could physically argue anything good about the Emoji Movie.
He has underestimated my...
I've underestimated his will,
but
but he still has yet to say anything good about the film. So, continue.
I'm still going over the plot.
Mm-hmm.
This is very important. Meet Jailbreak, who is met in a it's like this like their version of a bar. It's like a malware place, if I remember correctly. It has been a minute since I've seen the film. This beautiful film. And they go on their whole adventure, and it's revealed at the very end of the movie. Spoiler alert, by the way, for those of you who haven't seen this film, that Jailbreak is actually the princess of Textopolis.
Yeah, I know.
So she has actually succeeded in Gene's goal, and it's very motivational to young girls out there that they can be who they want to be, and that's going to be my first point. That there is an incredible message behind this movie, that you can be who you want to be, and that at the end of your journey you're required to have a dance break with everyone in your city. Because
How's that working out for you in life?
it's going great. I'm prepping the dance scene right now. You're a part of it. You're gonna be the interpretive dancer.
Great.
Let's talk about star-studded cast real quick. Because let me tell you, this movie has a amazing cast. Where's the cast? There it is. T.J. Miller as Gene.
Yeah, he's been canceled.
Has he been canceled?
Oh, yeah.
Did he?
Total pervert.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, he was in Deadpool.
He was.
Let's go to someone who hasn't been canceled. James Corden.
He should be canceled
For what?
for ruining musicals.
No, he saved the Emoji Movie. Not saved. He enhanced it. He was also in such wonderful movies such as Cats,
No.
as the fat cat. Peter Rabbit,
No.
as I'm pretty sure the rabbit, I think, probably. The Late Late Show with James Corden.
That's good.
That's pretty good. Carpool Karaoke, that's good.
That's part of the Late Late Show.
Yeah, well, this is listing it as its own separate
Because it
thing,
has-
so screw off.
He's not a cast member of that show. He's just
Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway.
He's still the rabbit.
He's still the rabbit. Trolls, he's in Trolls.
Overrated.
And Ocean's 8, which is actually quite a good movie.
Not bad,
enjoyed
but
it.
he's barely in it.
Patrick Stewart. Let's talk about Patrick Stewart, who is
He's a good
Sir
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart, who is the poop. That's another aspect I can argue about this movie. It's fantastic comedy.
It's turd comedy. How's that fantastic?
It's perfection, and again, its goal is to entertain children and those who are interested in high class cinema, as such as myself, who's seen the Emoji Movie 4 times. He plays poop, and he makes a joke about not being number 1 but number 2, which is hilarious. There's another brilliant moment in the movie where Gene and High Five is going to eat a candy corn that he had vomited up due to a turbulence, and Gene tries to tell him no, and he slowly if you see he slowly eats it, and it's quite comical. There's perseverance when Gene gets to the firewall where he can change his coding. He just goes for it again and again and again. It's a great message to send your children. Beautiful animation. I mean, just stunning. The shot where they are riding down. It's like text. Oh, I can't remember what it's. I don't remember why, but I remember there was like a Soundwave. It was Soundwave. They were riding Soundwave because they went to like Spotify or something. And I will genuinely argue that is a great shot. Like, unironically, will argue that is a good shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I've made my point clear. The Emoji Movie is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful film.
Agree to disagree. Although it's not up to us. I know that on YouTube we can add a poll.
We can add a poll, and I will. And all the poll to be for the Emoji Movie.
So, well, not right now, obviously, because I haven't said my point. But at the end, we'll put a poll up. See who wins, and we'll announce the winner next week.
Do you have any questions for me, by the way?
Why? The emoji, like, yeah, I get that you just explained why, but like, were you just deprived of good movies?
I watched.
Let me point this
7
out.
years.
This man, who unironically enjoys the Emoji Movie as a statement, an animated film,
I will fight for it.
does not like Ratatouille.
It sucks. That movie is terrible.
We're not gonna get into it.
It's such an unenjoyable movie.
It's so good.
I hate it so much.
We're not gonna get into it. My thing is though, Ratatouille, the Emoji Movie.
Oh, Emoji Movie way higher.
No, I hate that I just did that. All right, so I'm actually gonna throw you for a limb here. A limb? Throw you for a limb.
Show you for up.
Oh,
you're changing your movie?
I changed my movie during your speech because I didn't want to. I want to win. I was gonna say we can go ahead and put up the picture. I was gonna say Spy Kids 3.
That still would have been a good argument.
Still a good argument.
I do legit think that all the Spy Kids movies are
I
great.
love all this. The first Spy Kids movie has like a really good Rotten Tomato score. I don't remember what it is, but like the second one has second two down
Is
the drain.
3 the one where they're
In the video game.
That movie is fantastic.
So good, but I'm not gonna pick that movie because I think
that's got a low score.
yeah, it's like a 40 something.
Oh, screw off, man! That movie's fantastic.
However, this next one's gonna surprise you even more.
Uh-huh.
Hook. The movie with Robin Williams where he plays Peter Pan.
Oh.
It has a 29.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that exists.
We're talking classic 1991 children and family film Hook. Robin Williams as Peter, who does not know he's Peter Pan, so he's trying to rediscover that. He's like a grown-up Peter Pan who goes back to Neverland to save his kids from the dastardly Captain Hook, who is still traumatized by clocks, because he was, eaten by a giant alligator clock thing. let me just give you a nice plot synopsis. When his young children are abducted by his old nemesis, Captain Hook, played by Dustin Hoffman, middle-aged lawyer Peter Benning, Robin Williams, returns to his magical origins as Peter Pan. Peter must visit a foggy past in which he abandoned Neverland for family life, leaving Tinkerbell, played by Julia Roberts, and the Lost Boys to fend for themselves. Given their bitterness towards Peter for growing up, and their allegiance to their new leader Rufio, the old gang must not be happy to see him. Mm-hmm. So, many things about this movie are amazing.
Okay.
First off, it's a Steven Spielberg movie. It's Steven Spielberg in the 90s, early 90s, so he's still, like, on his run of, like, awesome movies.
Okay.
Robin Williams is in this time where, like, he's doing all these really awesome, not really family movies, but, like, some of his best performances. Like, he did, around this same time, he went on to do my favorite movie, which is Dead Poets Society.
It's the most hipster thing I've ever heard you say.
That my favorite movie is Dead Poets Society?
I feel like you need to go get, like, a deconstructed coffee.
Have you ever seen Dead Poets Society?
No, but I know it's super hipster.
There's nothing hipster about Dead Poets Society.
That's what I've heard.
Who have you heard this from?
Am I wrong there? I don't know.
Yes.
What's it about?
It's about a group of Catholic school kids who are, like, they're in, like, a Catholic boarding school. So they're taught all these, like, boring things all day, and then they get a new poetry teacher.
Right, and then that's where they kind of let loose a bit.
And they let loose a little bit. They start reading. It's called the Dead Poets Society because they read the works of dead poets throughout the thing. It's really good.
Okay, I didn't know what it was.
It's very. You're gonna watch it.
A bit pretentious, but okay.
It's not though. It's just really good. But that's not what I'm arguing. You're getting me off topic. First off, the box office gross was that it made $116.3 million, which admittedly is not huge, but it's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read some of the bad comments that it got, just to kind of shoot them down. A woefully uneven retelling of the Peter Pan story. It's not woefully uneven, it's a sequel to the Peter Pan story. Hook never sets sail. I disagree. I think that its plot is very, like, as soon as he gets to Neverland, it's like, think about the iconic scenes in that movie. The food fight that they all have at the table, and then you got, like, the big fight scene at the end. The whole introduction of Rufio. You know Rufio? The guy with the red hair. Rufio!
I think I've heard of this movie, but I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Hook?
No, I've seen probably the first bit of this one. Okay. I know this exists.
So Rufio is not voiced because it's not animated. I'm trying to find the actual actor's name. Okay. Dante Bosco. Mm-hmm. Who is known for a certain voice role of Prince Zuko in Avatar: Last Airbender.
That's where I've heard his name. I saw this guy's picture. I was like, I absolutely recognize that guy, but could not place him.
And I don't really even think I need to go that much more into that movie, considering it's just widely known as a classic film. Yet Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 29%. So we're going to let you pick the easy decision of what's a better film.
My only comment on what you've said is, if we're talking about the Emoji Movie, it's done something that no other movie really attempted to do, which was take emojis and make them have an emotion, give them emotional connection, give them emotions, legitimate.
It literally just ripped off the Lego Movie.
But
it was like, oh, they took a Lego. What's another inanimate object we can take? Emojis.
Yeah, but this was on a phone, so it's different. Yours, this is putting a well-known celebrity in the shoes of a fictional character, which has definitely been done.
The poop emoji is a fictional character, and Patrick Stewart is a well-known actor.
Seen Tooth Fairy. with featuring Rock.
Yes, I've seen the Tooth
You
Fairy.
cannot say you do not like that movie.
It's enjoyable.
It is
yes.
a wonderful film.
It is not, but it is
It
enjoyable.
is a wonderful
It's
film.
very enjoyable.
The first Tooth Fairy is great, and I love it.
It's hilarious, but it is objectively not a good story.
Fine, whatever.
It is funny.
So we're gonna put a poll in the description for you to vote for the Emoji Movie.
For Hulk.
For the Emoji Movie.
For Hulk.
The Emoji Movie.
For not the Emoji Movie,
the
but
Emoji
Hulk.
Movie. I'll die on this hill.
All right.
Let's shift on over to part 2 then. Hello, we're back. So,
Hello.
part 2. Time to talk about the thing that everyone has been talking about.
Herpes.
Buddy,
If you have it,
buddy, I think that's just a you thing.
if you have herpes, you tell your loved ones. Okay? It's like glitter, okay? It gets everywhere, and you can't get rid of it once you have it.
I hate this bit. This bit is awful. Please stop. And everyone who is listening is just left in pure disappointment. If you have stuck around,
can I just-
God bless you.
I don't have herpes.
Thank you for that, Mike. Anyway, I'm going to take the mic and go. We're going to talk about Squid Game.
Squid Games?
Squid Game.
I loved it.
It fascinates me that we, it feels like almost yearly at this point, get some sort of murder movie, murder show that gets really popular.
Yeah.
Like, first big one was Hunger Games. Or at least the first one to my recollection.
I mean, I don't know if that can count in this trend.
It's a similar concept.
It's older.
It's older, but it's within the same vein.
I think America's just obsessed with, like, this murder culture. But it's not even really about murder. There is murder in the show by the, definition of murder. But it's not, like, planned out murder, kind of like You or any of those other shows that have been pretty popular recently.
Yeah, but it's still within the same vein of kind of a morbid sort of game show or reality taking place where people die.
Yeah, but that's...
I like the stuff like Squid Game, Hunger Games, Purge, all that have been much bigger movies and TV shows or what have you.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's interesting.
I don't know. I don't think it's been any more popular than any other movies, in any other genre. Like, we've gotten superhero movies since then. We've gotten comedy since then. I think they've gotten better in quality recently.
I can say that, yeah.
Hunger Games is good.
The
first
Purge is
not
good.
The movie, the first Purge.
No,
But
the first movie.
actual original Purge.
Yeah,
where they're like trapped in the house. Where they don't leave the house.
Really good movie.
But then after that, they kind of go off the rails.
Yep. Now you kind of watch Purge for your kind of like.
I own them all.
Gore
It's
fest.
guilty pleasure.
Oh yeah, they're totally guilty pleasure movies.
But let me break down
Concept
kind
of
of
always
what I
right.
think a good definition of Squid Game is.
Yeah.
It's if Hunger Games, Saw, and Eyes Wide Shut all had a baby.
You've
familiar
lost me
with
at
any of
Eyes
the-
Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut is a Stanley Kubrick movie about rich people who basically play games with poor people
Okay.
for
What?
their entertainment.
Is that the one where they released all the people into the woods for like that one hunting scene that was kind of recent?
No, that's The Hunter.
It's a hunter. What's the one movie?
Or
This
is that
the
Catch
one-
and Kill? I don't remember.
I don't remember. But what's the one movie?
Eyes Wide Shut is...
I think it's
old.
more similar to this, within the same vein. The one that's set in an office, and it kind of like boards up, and you get and
the one with the guy from Walking Dead,
I think so.
Stephen Yeun.
Yes.
I don't know. It's also a Korean film, I think.
I can't remember the name of the movie.
I didn't watch it, but I don't remember it either. But that we're gonna get off topic if we keep going.
It's gonna bug me. You talk, and I'm gonna look up the movie.
So basic premise is you have all these people who have astronomical debt. We get the main character, whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. What's the movie called?
Belko Experiment.
Okay. That wasn't Korean. That was an American movie.
No,
It's based off one. I think it was based off a Korean movie.
I think so. But that's kind of what I imagined when I first saw Squid Game. It's similar in concept.
I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Okay, so they're given these cards, and they're all of them are met at a train station where they have to play this one game, and they think it's just a one-time thing, right? But then they find out and they get taken to this room where there's 456 of them. Our main character is number 456.
Mm.
I can't. Do you know how to pronounce his name?
No.
I
don't even know what their names are. My brother did not use the names when he explained the plot to me. He just said main character, pickpocket, annoying girl, bad guy, doctor, detective.
Okay. Anyway.
Very generic.
And they get in there, and there's this old guy there, number 1.
That's one. My
and
boy.
He, he's doing the game with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to go ahead and put up the spoiler.
Yeah, big old spoilers.
Right here.
We're talking
Boom.
about.
Flash. A lot happens.
Yeah.
The first episode.
How far does it go in episode 1? Does it do...
Red light, green light is episode 1.
It does red light, green light episode 1.
So they get there, and they don't know what this game is, and they're introduced to this game, red light, green light. The trick, though, is... In normal red light, green light, when you move after the red light, you're out. That's it.
Yeah.
But when you're out in this game, you're murked.
Yeah.
Basically, they shot a bunch of people, and like 200 people died that first game, almost.
Which I give this... I really think it does a great job at shock value here.
Yeah.
First of all, this show is shot incredibly well. Visually.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I adore it from a visual perspective. I think you're building it, because in the game, when you miss the throw, because it was like the throwing cards, right?
Yeah.
If you miss the throw, the guy slaps you until you get it.
Yeah, in the first one, yeah.
So you already go in knowing that this isn't going to be normal.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have the first guy get out, and then they shoot him.
Yeah.
And then after, do you mind if I say the actual number that get taken out?
Yeah.
It's like 2... Do you mind?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's like 200 people get taken out.
I already said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I already ruined that part for them.
Okay, whatever.
We gave you the spoiler warning.
We gave you a
We're
spoiler
expecting
warning.
you've seen it if you've made it this far.
Come on. But yeah, 200 people. And you watch... I don't think you watch all of them get dropped.
A lot of them did. You watch a lot of them.
You watch a lot of them.
And like pretty gruesome way, like you see guts go out and...
But I like the way that it steps you up to it.
Yeah.
Where you think, this is the worst it's going to get, this is the worst it's going to get, and then you get to the top and that's when you realize this can go anywhere.
Yeah, and then they kind of build their relationships early on, too. Like, you see this old guy is crazy. Because he's just smiling and running, and he's very happy about the game. And he's good at it. And I think isn't he, like, the first one across, I think?
Is he?
Again, he's one of the first ones across.
I have not seen the show. I've seen 2 episodes, and I've had the plot explained to me.
Yeah. Not by me. We wouldn't have picked this topic, but he's already knows the ending and everything.
Yeah.
But I've seen the whole show. And you see him kind of hold... You see this guy reach out and hold the main character from falling at the red light, which would have, ended him getting shot. End of show, main character's dead, first episode. Mm-hmm. And that's Ali, one of the characters I do know, because it's not a Korean name that I can't pronounce. It's Ali, which is a name that I can pronounce. I don't remember. I think he's number 199, I have to guess. And then they both get through. And they're all freaking out when they return back to the bunk area. And they're guarded by these like guys with black masks that have different shapes on their face, and each shape is like a different level. Like the squares are like the managers, the circles are like the people who clean up the bodies, the triangles are the people who like deal with the actual people. But they're all freaking out. And the first kind of red light, green light was the first shock. The second shock in the first episode is one of the rules they have to sign is that if the majority of people vote to end the game will end. Mm. And they vote, and the majority wins, and the game ends.
Yeah, but it's by 1, right?
It's by 1. It goes down to 1, and they all get sent home, back to their normal lives. Still have debt, sort of stuff. And they all kind of realize how crap their life is, and how much they could win, how they could use the money.
Yeah.
So they all do what they can to return, and about 200 of them return.
Yeah, not all of them go back. It's like...
Well, no, not 200.
160 something.
Yeah. Like a decent amount of them go back. And when you get back there, you've got the main. They start forming teams and stuff. And you've got the pickpocket from the first. Like there's this girl pickpockets him in the first episode. You've got her. You've got
Old man's on the good guy team.
the old man.
Ali.
Ali.
Is Ali a good or bad guy?
Ali's a good guy.
Okay.
And then you have his 456's like best friend growing up was there as well. Who their relationship builds throughout the show, which is pretty.
Oh, okay.
And then kind of the next big game is this honeycomb game, which is kind of taken
TikTok by storm. Of course,
which funny enough, it's not honeycomb. There's no honey in it. It's sugar and baking soda. That's all it is.
It's just a clever name.
It looks like honeycomb.
Yeah, so
and
they call it honeycomb.
It's caramel basically. It's basically like a thick caramel. Hard, crackly caramel. But they have to like break out this shape, and it's very brittle, so it'll break easily. And if you break, you get murked.
Boink.
A lot of people get murked. Guy licks it up, breaks some stuff. They get through.
But the dude has an umbrella shape.
The dude has an umbrella shape,
which
is
sucks.
Very hard to get into.
And then there's a side plot where one of the bad guy characters
a lighter.
Sneaks in like a lighter and cigarettes, but then uses the lighter to heat up the pin they get to make it easy.
The girl sneaks in. One of the girls, not the pickpocket, but the other girl, the crazy girl, sneaks in the cigarettes and lighter in her cooch.
Mm-hmm. Forgot about that part.
Very unsettling scene. You hear the don't like it. And that's where she gets the lighter, and then she gives it to the bad guy. They also end up boinking bones, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
In the only sex scene in the show, which is saying something.
There's nearly a second.
Nearly, but it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
This one does.
Yeah.
And you do see things, and it's not. I'm not a big fan of sex. Like sex scenes in shows don't all have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of modern TV shows are like, oh, we have to have them do the sexes, and have to do the stuff, and you don't all the time. You can just imply it, or if you're gonna do it, at least make it a thematic point.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Not just because.
This served a purpose because it kind of built them. I'm not glorifying the sex scene, but them getting together does serve a purpose in the show because they join teams for a while, but then he abandons her, which, spoiler alert for later in the show, in the second to last game, she grabs him and kind of like superplexes him through the glass as a punishment for breaking her heart. So I kind of went back and forth watching the show with subtitles and the English dub. The show is objectively better with subtitles as it is to...
The English dub is terrible.
Very bad acting. Voice acting.
Except for the old guy. Old guy's kind of bomb.
Old guy's great.
But, like, all the rest of them are really bad.
Yeah. It kind of makes some of the lines that are supposed to hit, like, dramatically funny. Yeah. And that ruins part of the show. The only reason I kind of went back and forth is I've been watching it, some of it on that TV back there. That's easier to read subtitles on. So mostly I'll watch it with subtitles on that. Yeah. But then I'll watch it, like, during my downtime at work on my phone, and I don't want to read subtitles off my phone while at work. No. So I'll listen to the English dub. It didn't ruin the story. It's not that big of a deal. I think if you don't want to read, it's still worth watching with the English dub. I do think you'll have more fun with the subtitles. Watching in subtitle,
to me, it impacts big enough that it just objectively makes the show worse to watch it in English.
Yeah, but I still think it's worth watching.
I can agree, but
we've already said it's better with the subtitles. It's just like if you're totally against subtitles, should you avoid the show? No. That's where I'm at. But back to the actual plot. Like, so much stuff happens. All the different games. They do a giant tug of war game.
Yeah, which that goes crazy.
That goes crazy.
There's a big marbles game, which ends up with a bunch of the teams going against a bunch of the good guys going against each other, a bunch of the bad guys going against each other.
Well, yeah.
See, basically, which I love that, by the way. It's a bit of an obvious ploy, which is my only complaint about the show. I think there are times where the plot gets a little obvious where it's gonna go.
Sometimes too. All right. We don't need to give a comprehensive of every single thing that went down, but some of the twists.
Yeah.
First major twist that you find out is during that marbles part. Well, obviously, I think major twist would probably be the red light, green light would be a twist, right?
Yeah.
And then them ending the game during the first episode. But once you're back in the game and keep going, from then on, things are crazy. A lot of things happen. The big battle, things break out at night, and there's people stabbing everywhere.
20 people get killed by the bad guys. 20 people
get killed by the bad guys. Also, another part, but then kind of the big monumental twists start happening during the Marvels episode.
Yeah.
First one is that that guy tricks Ali.
Yes.
And ends up in Ali's death. He's like, hey, let's go out and if we both have 10 marbles and we go out and play the teams that also aren't winning, then neither of us will lose. Which is not how the rules were explained, so obviously he shouldn't have fallen for that. But he gives him 10 marbles and he takes 10 marbles.
Mm-hmm.
In actuality, he took 20 marbles and gave the other guy 10 rocks to walk around. And then let him walk away and then gave the guards the 20 marbles and basically turned his back on his teammate, who was part of this big team that they built earlier in the season.
Yeah, which results in Ali getting
murked. That was rough. Yeah. And then 2 minutes later, there's this plot throughout the show where the old guy and 456 are and the main character of the show are kind of going back and forth with each other, and the old guy's got dementia, so he's kind of
out of it. And
Ali's dead. 456. I need to pronounce his name right. I just can't do it. Song Hugh or whatever.
We can just say 456.
Let's say 456.
Well, yeah. When 456 is in play, it's how does it go? Where he ends up
he cheats. Basically, he cheats. He says even, I mean odd, and then the guy comes out and it's odd, and he's like, which one did you say? And he says even. And he realizes that he can play tricks on him, so he does that to get all the marbles and to win. And you see, it's kind of hurting him to do it, but he's still doing it. But then at the end, when you find out he has one more marble, and then he looks at him and he's like, you shouldn't have tricked your friend. He knew, the old guy knew that he was being bamboozled.
Uh-huh.
Yet he still gives up his marble to him.
Yeah. Shout out to old guy.
Okay. And then he gets murked. We'll get back to that. And then it goes on to another subplot throughout the show is this detective, right? Mm-hmm. There's a detective that you meet in the second episode who follows him back to the island where these games are being held. Follows 456 back. And sneaks his way onto the staff and basically kills a bunch of the staff to be different staff members throughout the games. He's looking for his dead brother. Or his brother that went missing. He thinks that he, is part of the Squid Game thing. Big spoiler is that, I guess we're already past the point.
We're knee deep in spoilers, dude.
Big twist is that the guy running the game, or the guy that you think is running the game, the guy with a black diagonal mask is his brother that he's been looking for the whole time. And immediately after that reveal, he kills the detective.
Huge plot twist.
Huge plot twist. The final one, final big twist. 456 wins, by the way.
Yeah.
It comes down to...
So, did they ever get revealed that the best friend is his brother? Because my brother explained the
best friend is not his brother.
My brother called him main character's brother the entire time he was explaining it to me.
Well, he is incorrect. Did he watch the show?
Yes, he watched the whole
Then
thing.
he is not right.
Then he's not right. Okay.
No, the main character has no relation to the detective.
Okay.
They're not brothers.
Well, no, I wasn't saying the detective.
Or the best friend. They're not brothers.
Yeah.
I think he might just be watching it wrong because
Who knows? Anyway, go to the plot twist.
they were friends growing
Yeah.
up, so that's what it was. They weren't brothers. So he gets the guy 456 gets back and he's won the money, and his mother's dead, so it was too late. He also feels terrible that he has all this money and that all these people died, so he refuses to spend any of this money. So he basically just goes back to living in debt, and you get a year passes, and he looks terrible. He looks almost homeless. He barely spent any of the money. Hasn't cashed in on any of the promises that he basically, the last two people that died, he made promises to that he was going to help their families, and he hasn't done any of that yet. So he's still caught up in his grief. And then you're taken to this. He goes to this house, and he doesn't this building, and it's just a long empty hallway with a bed at the end. And in the hospital bed is the old guy. The one that got murked during the marbles game. You then find out that he is the one who created the games. And he got tired of just watching, and he knew his time was up, so he wanted to play the last rounds. So they didn't actually kill him, they just took him away and put him in the thing. And then they have this moral debate about people saving people and if morality is worth it. And then he kind of the guy decides to, or 456 decides to get his life together. So he cuts his hair and dyes it red, because apparently that means he's studious now. It looks dumb. I don't know why he thought, oh, I'm going to dye my hair red, and that means I got my life together.
It means it's all together, dude.
But then he adopts the brother of the pickpocket, who he kind of had a conversation with during the episode when she died. And drops her off at his best friend's mother's shop, asks her to take care of him, and leaves a suitcase which she thinks is just has his jacket and stuff. She thinks he's gonna be back for him. Opens the suitcase and it's full of half of the money. He then books a flight to go see his daughter in America. And on the train to the plane, he sees the game going on. And so he beats up the guy, takes the Squid Game card from him, and then calls the Squid Game people and threatens them. And this is all in the terminal getting to the airport. And he's because just 456, just get on the plane if you know what's good for you. And he turns around, and that's where the show ends. So possibly leading to a season 2.
More than likely leading to a season 2.
Yeah, I just don't know how there's definitely ways to do it. But
I think they're gonna go sort of the Maze Runner route, where they first sort of season or movie is within the maze or the Squid Game, and then the next few are gonna be be the main guy taking it down.
Yeah, curious to see it. It'd be interesting. But yeah, we only went 23 minutes with that.
We did go 23 minutes. Yeah, that's Squid Game. Anything
Game.
we want to discuss about it? You kind of just gave a plot synopsis.
Plot synopsis. Okay, yeah, we could talk more about the. I don't know. I was just kind of taken aback.
This movie, I can't say movie about it. It feels like a movie. This show uses a lot of shock value.
Yeah. Is it necessary?
Not necessarily.
Sometimes it's at the behest of the show. I feel like sometimes you're just waiting for the next shocking thing to happen.
Yeah.
And yes, that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Yes, that keeps you in the show, but also it sacrifices the plot sometimes. Because you get attached to a character, you can't get attached to a character, which is interesting and it works. But at the same time, it lessens the games, because you never know who's going to make it even to the game by after the fight.
Yeah.
So the importance of the game, and by the time you get to that point, your main characters are fine.
Yeah.
Up until about the marbles game, I think. Up until the marbles game, you knew. So during the first 3 games, you knew they were going to be okay. You knew they were going to make it. They're not going to kill this group of main characters, right?
Yeah.
Then the marbles game happened, and you had no idea who was going to make it.
I don't love the fact that they had your main 3 heroes make it to the final 3. I don't think they should have killed main character. I wish they had dropped out of the best friend of the pit pocket earlier. It just... It just kind of feels like an, oh, of course they do. Instead of, like keeping you on your edge of your seat. Or if even one of the bad guys made it.
I don't know. I agree almost. I think it was well earned. Those 3 got there. Because I think that they explored it well. Because the best friend basically does become a villain by the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he slits the girl's throat.
Yeah.
I know he hurts
the girl.
And he pushes that old guy. Not the old guy that we like throughout the whole show.
Different old guy.
Different old guy. He pushes him off the edge.
And that's during the glass game?
That's during the glass game.
Which that feels out of place. When you do, like, a bunch of, like, kids games...
I don't think so. I don't think it feels out of place. It's,
yeah, but you kind of theme it around a bunch of kids games. Like Red Light, Green Light, the children's snack with the cookies, playing marbles, the one game with the final 2.
It's hopscotch.
It's hopscotch at the end?
No, if you look at the glass game, it's...
Is it? I thought
it's
it was
not
just
the same
panels.
pattern. It's glass panels. It's not the same pattern, but it's an elevated version of a game kind of like hopscotch, where they would have to hop from thing to thing.
A bit of a stretch, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah. And the last one is a Squid Game. It's a game that they talk about in the beginning.
Yeah. Which, yeah.
Also, a criticism that I wanted to throw at you when your brother said there's nothing to do with Squid in the actual show. First episode, the mother of the friend owns a shop where she sells squid. And then also the game that they're playing in the first episode, like when he has the flashback of him and his best friend, is the Squid Game. The name of the organization that does these games is Squid.
I was saying that as a joke. Not like...
You told me seriously. You're like your brother...
Why would I say that seriously? It's not important.
It's just... That's what I've been thinking about the entire show. I was like, how could he have watched it and not seen this? Well, interesting. But yeah, like I don't have much more to say about it. I just watch it.
Yeah,
if you haven't. I mean, I'm hoping if you listen to this last 20 minutes, then you've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good. We got 50 minutes.
All right, so that concludes the main part of today's episode, which was the Squid Game discussion and the movie debate. I know it's a shorter episode than usual, just because we're planning bigger episodes, but we felt bad that we had to take 3 weeks off, so we kind of threw this one together. Still with thought, we still put our heart into it, but admittedly we had less stuff for this one.
Yeah, so where are we going with it?
But we kind of wanted to tell you guys what's up with the rest of the season 3 of Dormality, right?
We're on season 2.
Two. Not season 3.
Yeah.
Not there yet.
So, what else we got? We're going to do a Venom review. Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yes, we're just trying to find a time to go see that because I work 5 nights a week. And, of course, we're both full-time students at LBC. Lancaster Bible College, for people who don't know.
And we've been doxxed. Woo!
We've been what?
We've been doxxed.
What's that?
Having where you reside revealed.
Oh, is that bad?
Yeah, it's whatever.
I didn't say we lived here.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Now I did.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I feel like we said it before. But, anyway, yeah, we're going to do a Venom review. I know that I'm hoping probably next week we want to do a Disney Plus kind of centric review.
Yeah, talk about Disney Plus.
Because I don't know if you know this, but I think it's November, not next week. It's in November that we want to do that episode because the 2-year anniversary of Disney Plus is coming up.
Which that would be a good release on the day.
Yeah, if we can find out what day that comes out, but.
That might be a special. We might do that special.
That could be a special. And we're going to talk about all the Marvel shows, the Star Wars shows, and kind of everything that makes Disney Plus such a good streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
Also, some negatives. There's some negatives that have been thrown at Disney Plus that we're going to discuss as well. We're going to have a full, comprehensive Disney Plus centered episode. Also, since it is Halloween within the next few weeks, we do want to have some. I think a Halloween centered episode would be good, where we talk about like either horror movies or like Halloween movies. Mm-hmm. We kind of discuss those, do like top 10 list.
What if we did a killer tournament? We put different killers into brackets and then we debate who wins.
We could do that. We'd have to work as a team to decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could like randomize the bracket. And
randomize the bracket. That would work.
That'd be a great Halloween special.
Do that. Okay.
All right.
That's what we're gonna do.
That's what our plan is.
That's our Halloween
and we'll have
episode.
more stuff kind of thrown in throughout,
just
depending. So we can put it up there. We can start scheduling stuff.
Yeah, we could. That'd be harder because it's farther away.
Yeah, but we don't. It'd be more for just us to know.
Oh yeah, smart.
Which is why you schedule things. Anyway, this has been Dormality, episode whatever 4.
4, 3,
4. We're on
4. And as always,
you
can find us on Instagram at the Dormality Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Dormality, which is, if you're watching this, welcome. It's here.
Drop a fat subscribe if you want to see more.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button and hit the bell to get your notifications.
Ugh. I know that we need it, but I just hate that sound.
Oh yeah, it's awful. But
hit the bell. Punch that like button.
Punch that like it in the face. Go full on.
And then obviously for listening, we are available on almost all podcast streaming sites. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google. The list goes on. Mm-hmm. We really enjoy doing this. So keep listening. For the few faithful out there, hopefully we get some more too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, share it with your friends if you have any. Yeah. Thanks for watching and listening.
Goodbye.